good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Texans, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
Chicago trusted Darnell Mooney to step up and be their top wide receiver, and he gave them a 1,000-yard season in return. They're certainly hoping that a third-year wideout can form a lasting connection with second-year quarterback Justin Fields. Looks like that connection is starting to pay off, this time for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The Bears at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They thought they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Going up the gut, Montgomery. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling me.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And this is caught.
Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
awful lot of the punt team there, because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at the 34. They run with a rookie from Florida, Dameon Pierce.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Well, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
On the return is Pettis. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
To throw is Fields.
Caught here by Griffin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Middle, it's Montgomery, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now.
Mills to Pierce. They set up the screen.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get free, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Play action. It's Fields.
Rolling to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And here's Trenton Gill now.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
That one caught downfield by Howard.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
And yet again, it's Howard with a catch. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. First and 10, it's Pierce. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Then he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll try to run with Pierce.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will tie us at 3-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
A final shot before the break. Fields looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the first half very even. I mean, really in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Mills now looks to throw on first down. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Bulldozes past him. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Another big gain or 2 in succession as this one goes for 32.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
Mills throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down. A run for Pierce out of the gun. Justin Jones there on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 5 now. Mills. And he's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, here's Fields. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And again, back to Kmet. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 16, Fields rolling to his left. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Mills. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple of weeks.
That's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here's Fields. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second and 10, Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
The offense on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Here's Fields.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. It doesn't matter the distance. Stuff to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Forced out to his left. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Jonathan Grenard
in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate that was just incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jerry Hughes getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 2nd and 7, Mills. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And that will be incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us and praise a defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw again on 2nd down, Fields. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans scoop it.
On the move past the 40.
And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away. As they try and get downfield.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A heck of an effort there on the scramble leaves him with just 3rd and a yard. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards out of it. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Fields.
That is caught. It's Dante Pettis. Touchdown, Chicago! Dante Pettis, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Bears have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. touchdown. Here's Santos to kick this one away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
66 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
And they'll go right back to Pierce.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11.
Mills looking to throw it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his helmet. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Big third down. A field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer.
Here's Mills.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Mills back to throw.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Running it out of the gun with Pierce.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Now Mills.
And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, They made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for the Texans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next.